wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep.
Fellas, hello. How are we? Now, you might be thinking, Morg, mate, where the fuck are you? We're used to seeing the Manchester skyline and we're currently looking at a rocking horse down there. We're in Sally's conservatory, basically. I'm back in Stoke for a week because her dad is away on holiday and she didn't want to be all alone. So I've come to spend the week with her. Now, this week's video, I'm going to take you through peak week, but it's not me who's competing. It's going to be me as the coach. My client, Rob, and good friend, is going to be competing on Sunday in the WNBF. What's the name of the show, actually? WNBF. Rob will be competing on Sunday in the WNBF Supernaturals. Now, I've not actually competed with the WNBF before. I was meant to last year, but by the time it got to the British finals with the BNBF, mate, there's so many fucking different federations and they're all tongue twisters. You've got UKDFBA, BNBF, WNBF, there's so many different ones. But I've not done this show. So I'm going to take you through exactly what it is which I do with my clients, how I decide how much food I'm going to give them, how I decide basically what we're going to do, the entire protocol for the week. Now, Rob is going to be the first client that I have ever put on stage before. However, I have done it myself and I have also peaked clients for photo shoots prior. So for those of you thinking, oh, just because you fucking competed before doesn't mean you can put someone on stage. Listen, right, I've got plenty of people fucking shredded. So zip it, zippy. Now today is currently Thursday, so Rob is officially 2 days out. You got 3 days out if you count today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then he competes on Sunday. So I'm going to go and take a look at him in person. I'm going to train with him. He's doing pull at Old School, so I'm going to go and take a look at him, and then we're going to run through his posing routine after. He's been working alongside Ben from Evolution Training, Ben Hames. He's also a coach, and I trust him, which is why I've got him to basically help him with his posing, because obviously with me being up in Stoke, I can't be there with Rob in person to help him pose, so I've instructed Ben to help him, which he has done a very, very good job of, by the way. Now, what we're looking for in a physique when it comes to bodybuilding is a combination of fullness and dryness. Now, these two things here can counteract each other. If you drive fullness a little bit too much through a lot of carbohydrates, maybe too much carbohydrates, what happens is your physique will spill over. So sometimes you might notice that people look really fucking big on stage, but they're either one, not conditioned enough, so they're still holding some body fat, or two, they are conditioned enough, but they've spilled over, they consume too many carbohydrates, and so what happens when you do that is you get this extracellular layer of fluid which just sits above, like just below the skin, sorry, and that basically hides a lot of detail. The other end of the spectrum is dryness. Now, the way that we can create this effect, so you've got fluid within the muscle cell and you've got fluid outside of the muscle cell, between the skin. We want to try and keep as much intramuscular fullness and as much glycogen and water in there as we can, whilst removing that extracellular layer of water to create this like shrink wrap look. Now, what can sometimes happen is if you try and drive a little bit too much dryness and trying to remove too much of that water, it can actually cause you to go flat. So you remove a lot of the water intracellularly as well. Now, this happened to me in the UKDFBA show, which I did last year. So we use something called Peak Max. It will basically make you piss a lot, so it gets rid of a lot of that water, essentially. Now, when I stepped on stage at the UKDFBA, I looked very fucking, you could see the detail in my physique. I looked shredded. However, I also looked small. Now, in my opinion, the British finals was probably my best look when I actually managed to get a fucking pump, because I had that combination of dryness and fullness. So I'll show you the two pictures side by side, and it's actually crazy to see how much a physique can change depending on how you peak it. Now, if you're not in shape for the show, it's as simple as that. You're not going to look your best. But once you are actually shredded to the fucking bone, your physique can change literally hour by hour. So what I will get Rob to do is send across physique shots on a regular basis. So with my normal clients, I will get them to check in on a weekly basis, where they'll send across physique shots, they'll send across, you know, their calories, macros, sleep, performance, etc. for the week, and I'll then send a video response.
Rob,
Good afternoon, sir, or should I say good evening? It's 10 to 8 at night. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. However, with my clients who are either competing or I'm peaking them for a photo shoot, I will get them to send basically photos on a daily basis. So in that final week, Rob's been sending me pictures every single morning with his weight. So I'm monitoring that, making changes on the day, on the morning. Now when it comes to the point where we're putting the carbs in him, I'm getting him to send pictures to me literally every time he eats a meal. So every time he eats a meal, I'll get him to send pictures across to me, because what we need to find is his best look, where we've got that combination of dryness and fullness, and then we need to replicate that on Sunday. So if there's a certain amount of, a certain time in the day where he's consumed a certain meal or a certain amount of fluid where we just look at him and think, fuck, you look ridiculous, we want to then replicate that exact same environment on Sunday, so that when he steps on stage, he looks his absolute best. So that's the plan of action for this week. I'm going to go to the gym now to meet Ben and Rob. See you in a second. We are here with Rob. Say hello.
Hi guys.
That's Rob. We're currently training pull, just warming up, doing a little bit of abs. Now, I'm going to be training to failure, but Rob isn't, because this week is basically just about him chilling the fuck out. We still want him to get a bit of a pump so that I can see what he looks like with a pump, and so we can just move the carbs around a little bit. But this week, we've pulled cardio. You were doing, 2 hours of cardio a day pretty much. Yeah. He hiked up Snowdon on Saturday. He's been doing 20,000 steps per day. So at the moment, his body will be fatigued as fuck. So this week, he just needs to chill the fuck out. We pulled steps down. He is still going to be doing some. 12,000 is still more than what most people do anyway. But cardio's gone, and we brought up his food. So we've just got to assess how he's looking each day and find the best look for him.
So you're not crunching down your abs, pull it up on them, yeah? So, yeah, so, big breath in, wide as you can be, pull up. Yeah, you got it out there, breathe in, yeah, so big deep breath in, pop your chest up.
Guten Morgen, how are we? It is currently Friday. Rob is officially, would you class that as 1 or 2 days out? I'd say 2 days out if we're counting today. So this morning he has sent me across pictures. Now, one thing I want to touch on is how fucking important it is that as a coach you see your clients in person, because trust me, especially if they use shit lighting, which Rob does. Like, he sent me his fucking pictures across this morning, and I've had to say to him, mate, you're gonna have to take him somewhere else, because I literally cannot see a fucking thing. Like, he hit a back double, and you can see from this picture here, like, I cannot see a fucking thing. Like, look at that. How am I meant to see what his detail in his back is looking like? So I said to him, mate, you're gonna have to send me them again. So he sent him across again, and I can see from his pictures he is looking very flat. I can see he's flat because, one, he looks small, which Rob is not a small person, and he also just looks quite watery, and the detail in like his legs and stuff has completely disappeared. And what can happen is, when you are flat, that hides condition, whereas when you're nice and full and you don't have a shitload of water there, you actually can see the detail. So Rob has got quite a lot of detail and a little bit of feathering as well in his quads, and you can't see that this morning, which I could definitely see when I saw him in person yesterday. So what I'm going to do is, obviously these pictures were taken fasted, so I'm going to see what he looks like post-workout, and if he's still looking a touch flat, I'm probably just going to add, in fact, I'm going to just add an extra 50 gram of carbs. So we're just gradually titrating things up until we find his best look. So today we're going to run with 400 carb, 140 protein and 50 fat. If you're wondering why the fuck is his protein so low, one, carbohydrates are protein sparing, so we don't need as much protein, and also it just helps us to bring down those calories, because at the end of the day, if he's going to be in a massive calorie surplus consistently for 4 or 5 days, then there will be a little bit of fat gain there. So we don't want him in a huge fucking calorie surplus at the end of the day, but we do still want to fill him up. So that's the reason why we've gone with that. Now, Rob has said to me, oh, I'm going to go in the sauna after I've trained, because at Destination they've got a sauna. I've said, no, stay fucking clear. When you're trying to peak a physique, right, you want everything as constant as possible. And if you're like playing around and tweaking with loads of different variables, it's really hard to actually peak someone. Now, obviously, when you go in a sauna, you sweat like fuck. So he's going to be losing a load of water, which will potentially then dehydrate him. So it's going to inhibit his ability to then uptake carbohydrates if he's dehydrated. So I've told him, right, stay out the sauna. We're also adding in peak max as well this morning. So again, you've got another moving part, which you've got to take into consideration. So the less moving parts, the better. So essentially at the moment, what we're just doing is filling him up as much as we possibly can. If he does spill over a slight bit, which I actually want him to, because unless I see him spilled, that way I don't know he's full. Once he's spilled, we can actually pull back a little bit on the carbohydrates, and we can also dry him out a little bit more, which is why we're using the peak max. So that is my thought process at the moment. Obviously, we've got another day tomorrow. I'm going to get him to send me pictures post-workout and then in the evening tonight, and then he's going to do the exact same tomorrow, but he'll be travelling up to Birmingham tomorrow, and then it's obviously show day on Sunday. So yeah, at the moment, really happy with how things are going. His posing has come on so fucking much. I saw him about 4 weeks ago in person at Old School, and he was like, he didn't really have a fucking clue what he was doing. So we don't want him to look like a first timer on stage. We want him to look, I've said to him, like, look fucking confident, like, look like you know what you're doing, because it makes a big difference. Like, stage presence is a huge thing. So yeah, happy. Now, Rob is currently in Birmingham, although it's Friday. 2 days until the show. Well, we'll go with 2. He has registered. He has also done his polygraph. So he's now got his number as well. So tomorrow will be a very relaxed day. He just needs to basically put his feet up, eat, and literally relax as much as possible, because the one thing which will ruin a physique is stress. So I want him to put his feet up as much as possible. I remember for a lot of my shows last year, especially the British finals, it was fucking terribly organised, right? I think on the day itself, I ended up nearly doing like 20,000 steps because I was walking, trying to find where I had to be, essentially. They didn't tell you where you needed to be at what time, so I ended up going on stage without a pump, and also did a shitload of steps, which meant that my legs were inflamed, fatigued, and I couldn't contract them properly. So you want to relax as much as possible. So on Sunday, I'm going to make sure he finds a fucking spot that is near to where he needs to be at the right time. He pumps up early and he spends as much time off his feet as possible. Like, I will literally just run around to make sure that he's got everything he needs. He's also asked me, well, I said to him, I'll send you a list of all the things which you need, because my UKDFBA show last year, I drove from Stoke all the way down to London, about 10 minutes out from getting to the Airbnb, realised, brilliant, the one and only thing I need to step on stage, I fucking forgot. I'd forgot my trunks, so I had to borrow Dan Watson's trunks, which is the blue sparkly ones. They aren't even mine. My trunks, if you look at my first ever show, the BMBF, the black trunks, they're mine. The blue sparkly ones, which I actually prefer, I've still got them. He didn't ask for them back after. So yeah, Dan Watson, cheers for your trunks, mate. Bought some espresso from the shop, so I'll have that as soon as I get in. Yeah, I've told him as well to double his caffeine intake from what he would usually have before he goes and trains. Might impact his sleep, but he's not got much on tomorrow at all, so it should be okay, to be honest. I mean, here's another little bit of experience for you. The night before my first ever show, I was sat up until 4 AM editing a YouTube video, which, not ideal again, but yeah, it's another little bit of experience which I fucked up on, and I can use that to make sure that Rob doesn't make the same mistakes, essentially. So yeah, I'm using as much of my own experience as I possibly can to guide him. So I'm looking forward to it. I need to actually go and eat my chicken because the time went off about 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to go and eat my chicken. And I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Tomorrow morning.
Everything. I'm feeling everything.
Nervous.
Yeah. Nervous, excited, optimistic. And so, like, it's mad. But in all of this, yeah, it's like, yes, I'm feeling all these things, but like I'm focused today. It's like today's game day.
Yeah, you look fucking sick.
I'm feeling everything I'd feel before a football or a basketball match that I'm participating in.
That's literally what it's like. Like when you're about to step on stage, that's what it's like. It's like you're about to play a football game or something.
Yeah.
So what I would do before you go on stage is take your headphones with you. Make sure you got your headphones with you, and when you're pumping up, just put your music on and just get in the zone.
Yeah.
Like run through your routine, run through the mandatories, run through the muscularity poses, just so you're like in the fucking zone.
Yeah.
The show's just started, hasn't it? 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the the third class in the second section.
Yeah,
So I
that's
don't
right, yeah.
think you'll be on until, it definitely won't be on until after 12. So I would maybe head down to the venue, have your pre-workout meal now,
Yeah.
head down to the venue, make sure you take your water, get your pre-stage shake ready, so with your cyclic dextrine, your creatine, and then get your pump as well. Get all them ready.
Yeah.
Head down to the venue, find yourself somewhere to just chill the fuck out. Find where everything is in terms of like where you need to be backstage. Ask someone where backstage is, and then they should tell you if it's organised well, which I think it will be. They should tell you like, right, if you're in this class, start pumping up now. You want to start pumping up about half an hour before you're on stage so that you can get a good fucking pump going. Your fucking glaze, which I ordered on Thursday, still hasn't arrived. So they should have some glaze there. Like they're not going to let you walk on stage with no glaze on, realistically. So if you speak to someone around you, they should lend you some glaze, or there should be people putting tan on anyway with glaze and just say, can you put some glaze on me? Make sure they put enough on you though. Don't like, make sure you are shiny as fuck. Shinier the better, because it might, as you sweat, it might run, and you don't want to look like bone dry, which is what some people end up happening if they don't put enough glaze on. Yeah. But yeah, you should be fine. Like, you should be absolutely fine. And then I'm going to set off now, so I should get there about 11. So I'll ring you when I get there. And obviously I've got to try and see if I can get inside. But if not, I'll find a way of like, I'll get you to come outside to me or something like that. I'll be able to see you. Yeah. Before you go on stage. Yeah, that sounds sweet. You look fucking ridiculous. This is why I wouldn't pay attention to the scale, because I knew your weight would go up. Which is why I bumped your carbs up, because so last year when I was depleted I was about 74 kilos, and then on show day I was 77, so that's an extra 3 kilos. It's just water and glycogen, which is why you look so much better now, because you're full. Now you're full. Yeah. Whereas you were still flat before, so it was like hiding all the detail, all the condition. Yeah. So have your pre-workout meal, and then take your rice cakes and your dark chocolate with you. I would have dark chocolate as well, have a bit of rice, like 1 or 2 rice cakes and some dark chocolate at about 12. So about an hour and a half after you've had your pre-workout meal. Yeah. So yeah, it's just about drip feeding some more carbs into you. Make sure you're hydrated. Yeah. And ready. Yes, sir. Would you like me to have coffee or not? Yes. Yes. Have 2 coffees before you go on stage. Not like within the next couple of hours. Just do what you would usually do before a training session, basically. Oh, because that's basically what's been, you've looked the best. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So now that you're full as well, you're gonna look even better. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, lovely stuff, man. Thank you, bro. No worries. Alright, catch you in an hour, man. See you in a bit. I've messaged him to say, are you awake? I would have expected him to send me pictures by now, and he hadn't. So we're anxiously waiting for these pictures, driving, and then he sent them across. I opened the first one, like, both of us just went, fuck. Looks ridiculous. The best he's looked by far. If you tap on the screen, it'll focus. Is it focused? Yeah, he looks insane. He's up by 2 kilos, but that's a good thing. I gave him extra carbs yesterday, so that means he's now full, which is why you can see the extra Invisalign's in. Extra detail. So we're going to drive to the venue now. It's in Birmingham. It's only about an hour away. Get there nice and early. Make sure he's relaxed, calm, and ready to fucking go.
Yeah. We in the championship. We was down 3-1. Yeah. Philly. Champions in the United States.
Oh, this is from the corner.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, so get the dark chocolate. And then, like I said, when 2 classes before yours is on,
I think it was bodybuilding short.
Yeah. Start. I would 2 squares dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Drink your cyclic dextrin.
Yeah.
In fact, drink your pump first.
Okay.
Pump first.
Yeah.
And then once you've got a bit of a pump going, then drink your cyclic dextrin about 5-10 minutes before you're about to go on.
Yeah.
Because what the dark chocolates will do, 1, vascularity, bring out your veins. 2, slow down the digestion of the carbs so that whilst you're on stage, they're digesting. So you don't, you know, you went flat yesterday after you finished posing. We don't want you to go flat. We want you to stay full whilst you're posing, basically. Yeah. So that'll just slow down the digestion of that. Because this runs all the way through as well, which is good. So when you'll hit your mandatories, they'll separate you into call-outs. Then you'll hit your muscularity poses. Yeah. Then you'll probably go off stage. They'll bring one by one. They'll take you through your posing routines. Yeah. And then they'll announce where you've come.
Which is good rather than having the long.
Yeah, because my first show, you did all the mandatories and everything. They separated you. Then you come off stage. Other people go on. About 4 hours later, you go back on again, do your posing routine, and then they announce it. So it's almost like you have to peak yourself twice, which is fucking annoying. But this show, I think, is way better run. Yeah. Just hope I can get a fucking ticket, man.
Honestly.
Yeah. Go get the dark chocolates. Or do you want? I mean, I don't know where your fucking room. I was going to say I'll go up, but I don't know where your room is. How are you feeling? Rice cake. It is currently, let me turn that off, 3 o'clock, well 5 to 3, and Rob is still not on stage. They have just had a break. The show's just running really, really slow. I think the classes are fucking huge. So what I've done is I've just been down to him, ran through a round of posing with him, and because he's not going to be on stage for still another like 90 minutes, I would say, I've just nipped the shop, got him some squares bars because he was running out of food. He's only got like 3 fucking rice cakes, a bit of dark chocolate and some honey. So I told him to eat both of those. There's some fat in there, there's some carbs, so that should hopefully just drip feed in, keep him nice and full, because he looks fucking ridiculous. We just need to keep him exactly where he is, and then as soon as he starts pumping up, bang, game time, he'll look ridiculous. So yeah, hopefully he's on soon. We've just come to get a little meal deal. Standard. So I'll probably see you when he's on stage.
Yeah, turn me up, Cruz. Come on, Rob. Bombing on any of them niggas that want to smoke. Nigga, this a big boy phantom, this ain't a ghost. Had to take away from them niggas and then.
One in terms of the right.
Yes, come on. Yes. Yes, Rob! Yes! Once!
Hands on hips, most muscular. Number 7. That's number 7. Hands on hips.
Okay, and fourth place today, number 9, Roberto Gindu.
Yes! Come on, Rob!
Who's for the front? You're top 5.
How was that?
That was
Enjoy it.
that was an experience.
Yeah, you did sick. The routine, you fucking smashed it.
Just mad.
Yeah.
There was one pose that I forgot to do, and I was like, shit,
Was
I didn't do
it?
it. Like literally, what did I do? I went, oh no. There was one I improvised because I forgot the pose I was meant to do, so I was like, fuck it, Usain Bolt.
That one.
I just improvised.
Is that improv?
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be part of the routine.
Yeah, it looks sick. It looks fucking sick.
So I was like,
Let's have a look at the medal.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Oh, it's heavy.
Fucking
I like it. I wish it was, top 3 though. But you know what? I think as soon as they called for changes, when I got called up again, I was like, okay, I'm in the business center.
Yeah, when they put your first call out.
Yeah.
I saw your face light up.
I was like, wait, they want me? Because I was actually backstage. I was looking at everyone else's physique, and I was like, they could do top 5.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my physique like, shit, am I gonna make top 5? Oh, okay, let's work.
Definitely.
But yeah, top 4, I'll take it every day of the week.
First show ever.
Every day of the week. First show ever.
Some of these will have done other shows, I bet.
This is what I mean.
Did you speak to any of them backstage?
Some of them are like, they've done it before.
Yeah. What a weekend. What a weekend. How the fuck do I wrap this up? I'll start with Rob. First of all, brother, if you're watching this, just want to say I am extremely grateful to you for trusting in me to be your coach through this. Obviously, it's my first time as a coach taking someone through a bodybuilding prep, and so for him to put his trust in me means a lot to me. It does indeed, because he could have picked literally any other coach. You know, there's plenty out there, but to pick me, I appreciate it. I also just want to say I am extremely fucking proud of him. He's fucking smashed it. However, I did come away on Sunday, and I didn't actually say this to Rob on the day because obviously it's his day, man. It's his fucking day, and he absolutely smashed it. But I came away on that day thinking, 4th, good. 1st, better, much better. And I am someone who naturally is very, very fucking competitive, always have been. And realistically, like, if you were to go up to, you know, the manager of a football team, and when they've just lost the Champions League final, you know, technically they've come second, but they've not won. That's the mentality I've got. I wanted to fucking win, and I know for a fact, I've looked at the footage, and I know for a fact, with Rob's shape, Rob's genetics, and his level of muscularity, if we'd have got him as conditioned and as lean as the top 3, he would have had a really, really good chance of placing within that top 3, maybe even top 2, potentially even win, you know, the class. But unfortunately, we didn't do that. With most, you know, competitors, usually they will do multiple shows, and that was the plan for Rob. He was actually meant to do the UK DFBA 5 weeks ago, but he wasn't ready for it, so I was like, right, okay, we'll just go straight for the WNBF. So ideally, I would have liked to have done a couple of shows and we could have learnt from each peak, like with this one, for example. Again, I've looked through the footage and I was watching him as he was on stage, and I've looked back through the pictures at the start, to the middle, towards the end of when he was on stage, because he was on stage for like half an hour in total, and he faded. He faded as he was on stage. He looked sharp when he first come on, because obviously he's freshly just got a pump. He not long will have had his carbohydrates, his cyclic dextrin, etc. But he did start to fade, and that detail started to disappear a little bit. So we could have pushed carbs a little bit harder. I think we could have pushed fullness and dryness, so we could have filled him up even more. And we only actually used Peak Max for about 3 days. We could have put even more Peak Max in him. The full serving of Peak Max is 16 capsules. He only had enough to be able to load him for 3 days. So you start with 4, then you have 8, then you have 12 on the day, whereas usually we'd have 4, 8, 12, 16, and then 16 the following day, and that would be actual show day. So we could have driven that dryness a little bit more, but you know, it's data, as a prep coach would say. But yeah, we can use it moving forward. And Rob said in his check-in yesterday, he was like, right, he's got the fucking bug basically, which is the same as me. I got the exact same thing. I didn't know whether I would enjoy being on stage, and Rob probably didn't either, but he's clear to me he fucking did. So he wants to go again, and he wants to take the whole fucking gold basically. So whether we go again next year or the year after, we'll have to see, but he's no longer a novice. So if he steps up and competes again, he's going to be with the big boys. He's going to be with you know, the lads who've done it multiple times. So we want to make sure that if he's going for gold, we make the necessary improvements to not just his the peak, but also his muscularity. We want to bring up his back specifically. I said to him yesterday, your back is probably the weakest area. Everywhere else is pretty balanced. He's got really good quads, hamstrings, glutes, arms, delts, chest is pretty good. But I definitely think we can bring up his back. So that's what we're going to work on during this off season. So yeah, that was genuinely one of the proudest moments of my life. Like, for me to sit there editing this video has been, I was emotional at times. I was sat here editing, so I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you're interested in joining the team, getting into the shape of your fucking life, all you need to do, drop me a DM on Instagram with the word coaching, and I'll fire across all the information you need.